Well, good evening, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Um, I love football. Football has been an incredible sport for me growing up and even into today. I can relate things in life with things I learned on the football field. I remember, make a long story short, having the worst practice, the hardest practice of my life, where the coach was literally just riding our ass. We were running gassers back and forth, twice as many gassers as we normally do, and the coach still wasn't satisfied. He had to start doing gassers, and if you know what gassers are, that's where you run from one sideline to the other, back, forth, and back. We did gassers from end zone to end zone, and that still wasn't good enough. He had us crab end zone to end zone. Your muscles literally felt like somebody was just digging knives in them. The pain was excruciating. Your heart, your lungs just felt like they're being ripped out. And he did this because he said he wanted us to learn that no matter how tired you were, that you always had more that you could do. That was just one of the many, many lessons that I learned from football. And my body, and I never played professional football, my body is messed up. I tore my ACL in high school. I've had high ankle sprains. I've had stingers where my arm is just literally limp. I've got fingers that have been broken. I've had my thumbnail ripped off to the cuticle. But I wouldn't trade the time that I played football for anything. When you're young, you feel like you're invincible. And I'm sure Damar Hamlin felt that way tonight when he went out on the field. I don't know if any of you or all of you were part of the live stream that we had or have seen the news. Damar Hamlin ended up making a tackle where the guy hit him in the chest, threw him down. It looked like a normal tackle, but when he stood up, he fell back, and from that point on was administered CPR on the field for 9 minutes. 9 minutes. He's been taken to the hospital. He's in a trauma ward, a level 1 trauma ward, in critical condition, has had a breathing tube put down his throat, and there's no word exactly what condition other than he's in critical condition. We as fans have a tendency to not remember that these guys are people just like you and me that hurt, that bleed, that can die. We don't understand that these guys are putting their lives on the line every single play. We all look at them and say, oh, well, they're making a boatload of money. Some do. Some do. But most don't. Most of these guys, the average career is like 3.5 years. You never get to that second contract. They never get to be that 12, 15, $20 million a year guy. That's few and far between. Most of those guys might make $2 or $3 million in football, which sounds like a lot of money. But when you think that some of these guys' quality of life after they leave football can be a mess, that some of these guys, the only thing they've ever done is play football, and they're not ready for life outside football. We don't understand that these guys get cut, brought back, cut again, that there's no stability or guarantees for them. We don't understand the pain and the drugs and the rehab and things that. Hold on.
Ben Davies with us now. Ben,
Let's see if there's
I
an update.
appreciate the time, and I'd ask you the same thing I asked Coley. All we're trying to deal with is what
Let's
we
see.
know. What do
It's
you
an update.
know at this hour?
Yeah, like Colby said earlier, the NFL statement says that Damar Hamlin is in critical condition outside here at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center Hospital. I saw the ambulance leaving the facility at Paycor Stadium, and Ryan referenced the urgency that we saw. It was different than what you see from the Tua Tagovailoa situation earlier in Week 4 that did happen on the same field. We saw folks in number 3 jerseys following the tunnel, going up the tunnel, going to the ambulance. I was actually inside the emergency room briefly before it was closed to visitors, and whether it be patients, whether it be guests, whether it be hospital
I don't think they have
officials and
anything.
those working tonight, you got the sense that this was just something that nobody has dealt with before, and there was everybody who was in the vicinity of that emergency room just wanted to know what was going on. As I made my way out of the stadium into the parking garage and made my way here, you had fans asking whether Damar Hamlin was okay. You got the sense there was everybody right now that is in Cincinnati that is knowing what's going on. You got the sense they want to know what is going on with Damar Hamlin. And so far, like I said earlier, we know that he is in critical condition, and we are currently.
So they don't have an update. It's basically going back on what we all know. He's in critical condition, and there's no word exactly to the extent. But what these guys do on a daily basis, when you hear that, oh, a guy will be back in 3 weeks, and we think, oh, he's completely healed. These guys aren't completely healed. They've been bandaged up enough that they can strap it on and go on back out there and finish the fight. An NFL player's life and career is full of pain. Monday after a game, some of these guys have a hard time just getting up out of the bed. And between the meds and now, I guess, legalized marijuana, the ice baths, the treatments, and everything else, they get well enough to be able to play again the following week. But make no mistake about this, that football is a dangerous sport. We love it. But remember the next time that you start calling a guy, he's a bum, he's weak, man, he's sorry, get him out of here. These are human beings out there. And tonight, I don't care what team you support, everybody should pray for Damar Hamlin. I always do my fireside chat. I'm not home right now. I do it because it was something I did long before I did it with you guys. At the end of the day, I like to go down and reflect and realize at 57 years old that I have more days behind me than I do in front of me. And I don't want to waste a single day. I reflect on it to say, did I do everything I could to be the best person I could be? Did I do things to advance myself? And more than anything else, do I let the people I love know how I feel? Because more and more, we've had so many examples of losing so many people over the last few years that life is precious. And you don't want to lose somebody without letting them know how you feel. I love you guys. And hopefully tomorrow morning we'll hear some good news about Damar Hamlin.